So I know health can be really confusing. There's so much conflicting information out there. Everybody seems to know what's right. And it's really easy to get straight down the wrong path and end up doing more damage than good. So if you want like an easy way to look at it, I always like to think of it as like a sliding scale. And you don't have to really be super extreme with diet, but as long as you're constantly moving forward on the scale towards this one end, it doesn't really matter where you're at unless you have some serious health problems, as long as you're just always moving forward and getting a little healthier. So on one end of the spectrum, we've got, like the terrible, we should say the sad diet. On the one side, we have a very sad diet, which is either, a really bad diet can be different for everybody. We can have like somebody who eats maybe just like a lot of animal products, really high in fat and cholesterol, and then there's somebody maybe that eats really processed foods and just more chemicals really than actual foods. There's like a lot of different ones. Maybe it's somebody who doesn't even eat a lot at all, just eats stimulants and takes drugs to keep going. These are different types of the same end of the spectrum. It's just like the worst diet you could possibly imagine. Bad diet. And then on the far end, we'll have the perfect diet, which is just our closest living relatives are the bonobo monkeys, the bonobo apes. Our closest living relatives are the bonobos. Closest genetic match. And their diet is 50% raw fruit, fresh fruit, 50% greens. And not just vegetables, but greens, like leafy greens. And it's all raw. And that's what our ideal diet should be. And obviously that's really hard for most of us to achieve. That's like some crazy extreme, not for everybody, but for most of us that is a really crazy extreme. But that's just one end of the spectrum. And then you can just dial in, all of the things in your diet. Judge for yourself where you think you are on this scale and just keep moving towards whole foods, raw foods. Well, first, you take out all the animal products. You start eliminating them as much as you can, do your best until you can get rid of them completely. And then that'll move you up, get rid of your stimulants and like drugs, caffeine, and all of these things, cigarettes, and you move up a little more, you start eating whole foods, less chemicals, and then you can even, oh my gosh, there's a coyote. That's really cool. I'm gonna see if I can film him. Oh my gosh, he's going the other direction. That is so cool. There's water here, and it's really dry out. And I'm sure he doesn't get much water. He has to wait till all the people leave because people are here all day. He's just standing up there. I don't even think you can see him. Oh, he's going over the hillside. Oh my god, I completely forgot where I was at. Oh. See, I really like to think of health this way because then it's not an all or nothing type of thing. You're just moving forward at your own pace and you're enjoying yourself as you go, because if you try to force yourself to go too far too fast, you can fall off the wagon for a really long time. It's really important to not get caught up in, like, once you first start going down this road of eating healthier, a high carb, low fat, you could first maybe go vegan and then you go whole foods. Oh, oils aren't good for me. Oh man. And then you hear, oh, is garlic not good for me? Oh, is cinnamon not good for me? Should I not eat even rice? Are grains bad for me? And then you start eliminating so many things from your diets because you can hear of all of these like little things that may be bad about them. And then you become orthorexic. You develop like a problem about it. And that's not good. And I've been there, before, not very extreme. I always catch myself like as I'm going down that path, and I pull back a little bit and I'm like, okay, screw it, just eat some garlic. Like it has a lot of benefits to it. And I'll make other videos about all of those things that I mentioned before and why they may not be completely optimal for you. But don't worry about it. Just see where you're at and see what simple, small, easy steps you can take in your lifestyle to just move you towards that end. And if you're never gonna get to a certain place, like don't try to get to perfect, because perfect is where you're at right now, and you're moving forward. If you're being stagnant and being still, or maybe even getting worse, that's not perfect, obviously. But if you're at a place where you know that you are interested in investing in your own health and you're moving forward, then you're at perfect. As long as you're aware and you're moving forward and you're learning, you're at perfect. Don't try to reach this goal just because somebody else can do it so well. It might take you time. It probably took them a lot of time to be able to get to that point and being able to eat all of those foods. When I first went vegetarian, even, I didn't really eat too many vegetables, and it took me a while to, really enjoy them. But now I crave kale, and it just took me a while. I put it in soups, I cooked it down like a lot so that it was really easy to eat. I'd put a little bit of it into drinks, and I started getting a taste of it, but obviously like with a lot of apples or with a lot of seasoning. I really enjoy kale when it's baked. It's delicious, so I started baking kale all the time, and now I just the flavor of it. I like it cooked in all different ways. I can eat it. I'm not quite there with raw kale yet. It's still really tough for me, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not stressed out. I know that in time I will be eating kale raw. I'm just moving my way towards it. I cook it less and less every time I cook it and enjoy it more and more. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you liked it, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you want to see more. Have a good one.